There are now a couple of questions about access to the Royal and the difficulty in accessing the site, particularly with regard to parking and the sense that we might be about to make that worse by putting more services on that site. What do these changes do to the activity levels on the Royal site, and is that going to make matters worse or potentially better, and if so, why? So let's try and unpack that a little bit if we could. Perhaps Mark, I could ask you to lead off.
So the key thing to bear in mind is when we talk about the treatment centre being built at the Glenfield Hospital, if you look at our consultation documents, the size of that treatment centre adds almost half the size again onto the Glenfield Hospital. In other words, a lot of work will go to the treatment centre, such that the activity that currently comes to the Royal will reduce by about 50%. Now, given the Royal is in the city centre and the neighbourhood around the Royal is probably one of the more polluted areas of the centre in terms of carbon monoxide emissions, that's an entirely good thing. But the first answer, therefore, to the isn't this just putting more activity into the Royal is quite the opposite. It's taking a lot of activity off the Royal. So if you round numbers, the Royal sees about 750,000 patients a year. When this plan is executed, that will drop down to about 390,000 patients. That means that activity goes across to one of two places. First place is the treatment centre at the Glenfield, and the second is those public who are familiar with what we're doing at the moment around reducing the need for people to come into hospital in the first place by doing more of this kind of consultation. So rather than bringing patients face to face, sometimes doing it by phone or over video link, all of that will seek to reduce the number of car journeys that people required to make when they come into hospital. So the headline of that is really, don't worry about the Royal becoming more congested. It will be far less congested in 4.5, 5 years' time.